We have 400 healthy ostriches who are facing an imminent kill them all order. And then we also have 400 organized crime groups operating within Canada. And it's just, well, we're going to have some conversations and get a new border czar and hope that his conversations will hopefully stop the crime. And our Minister of Justice, Sean Fraser, the same guy who told us all that Canada's not the Wild West, even though it kind of feels like the Wild West because of the proliferation of crime and injustice plaguing our streets, with recurrent criminals being repeatedly released on bail to reoffend. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the Wild West to him because he lives up in his ivory tower away from all of the chaos descending on our streets. So he has just introduced a new hate crime bill, and here's what he had to say about it.
Okay, so sorry, what is there a question? Can you tell us what they are? Oh yeah, you want to know each of the different sentencing guidelines?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, sure. So let me flip open to the specific page.
Not off to a good start
What's
here.
That? Oh, just on symbols. Yeah, so I think we're dealing with a two-year penalty. So, sorry, I'm looking at different things. Let me deal with the hate penalty first. So if you're found guilty of an indictable offense, a maximum penalty under the hate crime, it will be 5 years. If the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 2 years or more, but less than 5 years. 10 years if the maximum term of imprisonment is included offense is 5 years or more, but less than 10 years. 14 years if the maximum term of imprisonment is the included offense is 10 years or more, but less than 14 years. And life if the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 14 years or more, and up to imprisonment for life. Intimidation, where are we here?
I don't even think he knows anything about where he is.
If you're guilty of an indictable offense, you'd be liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 10 years. I've now skipped past the hate symbols piece. My apologies.
How did these people get into these positions?
The lunatics are running the asylum.
This is crazy. Don't come for me because this isn't hate speech, but this guy has no idea what he's doing.
Absolutely.
For the punishment, everyone who commits an offense under the relevant section is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years, or is guilty of an offense punishable on summary conviction, where there'd obviously be discretion in the circumstances.
I wonder if the journalist even knows how to report on that answer. Like I'm so confused. What was he even talking about?
All he did was count upwards. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Hate symbols. Nobody knows what they're talking about. But really, what this is why this should concern Canadians is because we're following the same trajectory as the United Kingdom. And in Britain, listen, if you say something that the government doesn't like, they will come and pick you up and throw you in jail. Like moms who are defending their little communities in Britain have been thrown in jail for 30 months or something like this. Like it is incredible. The number of Brits that have been arrested for hate speech violations or thought crimes. This is what we're going to usher into Canada. Well, I look forward to being your bunkies at the re-education camp, Canada.
Yeah, look, here's a clip of what you're talking about from the UK.
So here's two police officers questioning a mother on the behavior of their minor child on social media. This is what they will send the police to your house. They will demand to see your devices, and they can convict you and throw you in jail inside a week. This is what we're going to do in Canada. Well, we have actual criminals and crime is out of control. This is what we're going to throw people in jail for their thoughts. This is insane.
By connecting businesses with qualified candidates, Workforce Alberta helps employers change their story.
For posting symbols. And let me just remind you that just in the last few weeks, one case in particular, the Welland trans identifying male who assaulted a baby, a toddler sleeping peacefully in her bed at night.
After previously being convicted of another sex crime against a child, yes?
Yes, that exactly that had been released early after serving, I think it was just shy of 2 years or 2.5 years for assaulting another child in almost the same manner, was released on the streets, back out within 6 months, reoffends a toddler so horrifically that she had to have, from what I gather, reconstructive surgery for the extent of injuries suffered. And it is absolutely anyone's worst nightmare what occurred. And these are the people who will be eligible for sweat lodge healing because they identify as the opposite gender. So this guy in Welland, he identifies now as a woman, and his social media, his Facebook page specifically, was like, finally figured it out. And I would say to that, that you're an absolute disgraceful weirdo. But nonetheless, because they'll feign visible minority and protected group, they'll be sent off to a healing sweat lodge to serve out the rest of their sentence, if they even get any sort of sentence at all. And then you have our Justice Minister, Sean Fraser, telling Canadians, oh, this isn't the Wild West, it's Canada, and prioritizing a hate crime bill focusing on hate symbols, I would say probably online. And meanwhile, you have, there's not even a definition of hate built into any of the criminal code or any of this legislation. So apparently this is the start of making that definition clearer. But I mean, this guy, these priorities are not only completely backwards and mixed up, but he doesn't even know what the heck he's up there talking about.
Well, and not only that, but would pointing out that trans women are disproportionately more likely to be convicted of sex offenses be considered a hate crime? Because we are just pointing out the obvious and the statistical probability of these guys doing terrible things to women and children. Like, would that be considered a hate crime? And far be it for me to tell the federal government what to do, because they always know what's best, guys. Okay, they know what's best for you. But if somebody is walking down the street with a Nazi symbol, say, I know, I like it, okay? Because I know that they are my enemy. I know when the enemies show themselves with their symbols, it's good because it shows you who they are. And I would even go so far as to say progress pride flags I would put in that group. Okay, I would put union insignias in that group. When your enemies show you who they are, it is great for you. You know who to avoid. And with this kind of legislation, with broad sweeping safeguards to keep people from being exposed to this, well, it just helps those people hide better. Like, what on earth are they doing? And what do they think that they're going to accomplish? I think that this is a massive overreach on Canadians' freedom of expression. And it is a way for the federal government to censor and otherwise silence dissent. This is all it is. They don't like what we're saying, so they want to stop us from saying it.
Every single time, right? Every single time. And that's what I love so much about freedom of expression, is that even if I don't agree with you, at least you've shown me who you are.
Exactly.
At least you've played out your cards. You've shown me your hand. Okay, now I know this is a person that I can, actively condemn or steer clear of or avoid, what have you. That's the beautiful part that I appreciate of freedom of expression, and why I think we should all be free to express ourselves, because then I'll know exactly who to avoid and who I don't want to be like.
By connecting job seekers to work simulation and training, Work First Alberta helps people change their story.